Right, focus formula. So I'm Kate, for those that don't know me. I help business owners and leaders turn busy business into structured, scalable ones, but with choice on how we actually do it. Can I get a hands up in the room who here is a business owner? Okay, and who here is working for somebody else and in a management or leadership role? Okay, so a lot of you are founders, business owners, yep. All right, so I built my company from my own garage to 7 figures whilst raising 3 kids under 11 and working 3 days a week. So for me, what I do and what I teach, I've done, right? So I started 8 years ago, I quit HR, 16 years in the game, and went, no, I'm going to go start in my garage. And I had a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. And yeah, I didn't have the money to start the business, but my dad, who's a pensioner, lent me $500 a week for 4 weeks, and that was it, and I was off and racing. So everything that I teach, I've done. I don't have an MBA, okay? And I'm sure some of you do, but what I teach is on the ground, real stuff that I do every single day. And I always like to preface with that. So I've worked with hundreds of business owners and leaders who aren't afraid of hard work. So some of you I do know in the room, and those that do know me would say straight shooter, no fluff, no BS. I'm not cookie cutter. If I offend you tonight, I'm saying sorry now. I am straight up with how I roll. So that will come through tonight as well. And that's not for everyone, that's okay. But I'm about results, I'm about doing the work, non-victim mentality. Let's get it done, okay? So I just want to preface that that's how I roll as a human. All right, so these business owners, a lot of the business owners I've worked with, their problem actually isn't focus. Sorry, their problem isn't effort, it is focus, right? So you're actually doing the work. You're doing it like 12 hours a day, you're there, you're hungry, you're passionate. It's actually focus that's the problem. So they're busy and exhausted and constantly moving and not always moving forward. So hands up if that's you. Are you someone who's just like, yep, doing it? At the end of the day, you're like, what have I actually done today? Oh, I did that one thing on the to-do list, but I don't feel like I've achieved. Or you're there for 12 hours, or you're going to check emails maybe at night time before you go to bed. Or as soon as you wake up in the morning, who picks up their phone next to their bed and the first thing they do is check emails? Please put your hands up. Come on, let's be real. I see, yeah, okay. I see you laughing but not putting your hand up. So it's very normal for business owners to do that. I work 3 days a week, 9 to 3 Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. Don't work Wednesdays. Friday's Kate Day, where I'm not a business owner, I'm not a wife, I'm not a mum. I do what I feel, and I don't work nights and I don't work weekends. And I have an amazing team, so it is possible. And that book over there is Have Your Cake and Eat It Too, how we actually do that. Okay? So I'm living proof that you can. A lot of people go, oh, really, Kate? Like, really? Yeah, this is what I teach. So before this business, I spent 16 years in international recruitment management, HR, leading teams, building systems. Today, I'm the creator of the Busy Brain operating system, so that's my keynote, and I'm doing a section of it tonight. Registered career practitioner with the CICA, qualified HR business counselling, career development, award-winning business and career coach, a published author, mum of 3, and just in the last few weeks, I have just launched an app because I couldn't find what I bloody wanted. And it's called Brain Dump. On the go, in the shower, on the toilet, all of those ideas. You've got Siri, you've got those things. This thing called Brain Dump is fast. It texts you. You text yourself. You email yourself. Who here emails themselves or texts themselves for a reminder? Oh my gosh, that's why I created Brain Dump. So if you want, I'll show it at the end. It's free if you wanted to use it. But that just launched only a week ago. All right, so who wants to leave knowing how to do these things? Prioritise what matters most, protect high-value thinking time, reduce overwhelm and decision fatigue, and create consistent results without working longer hours. Yeah? Sure. Sorry? Yes. Okay, hang on, sorry? Yes. Thank you. That's what I wanted. Right, so let's get into it, the focus formula. So today we're going to learn 2 things, okay? We're going to work about working on the business. You all know what I mean by that. You all want to get there, but the work just keeps taking you this way. But I've got to get on. So we're going to look at using the focus quadrant to identify the work that drives growth, and you all kind of know what that is, and protecting your focus. So using the focus funnel to reduce the distractions and protect that high value thinking time. You're working hard, week's full, but the business isn't moving forward or growing, right? And here's why. So I am going to say this first and preface with it. You're all smart, intelligent humans. The stuff that I'm talking about tonight, you're all going to go, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, that makes sense. But are you doing it? This is what I'm bringing home tonight. You all know this stuff. Okay, but I'm bringing it from the subconscious to the conscious. So are we actually executing, and are we aware of the impact because we're not doing this? I'm bringing it back to grassroots, right? So let's get the subconscious back to the conscious. So when you go to work tomorrow, you're going to remember Kate Langford and the stuff she said. You know it. You're very smart humans, but let's get into it. So working on the business. So we want to learn how to identify the work that creates that growth and that momentum and results. So we're all in reaction mode, you know, whether it's a tough space to get into proactive because things happen. It comes in, putting out fires, team, all the things. We have to get into that proactive state, right? So reaction mode feels like those constant interruptions. Who gets interrupted all the time? By your team? Do you have strategies around what you're doing about not being interrupted? Probably not, you just let it keep happening. So I'm a talker. I'm a fast talker. Diagnosed ADHD 18 months ago. I always knew it, but let's be real. Diagnosed now. See, I love the laughing. I just own the shit out of it, right? It's just so much easier to do that. So, sorry?
Apparently, I don't know why people go and get it diagnosed. Just, you know who you are.
I do, but there's a personal story there. So my son went down that track. He's ASD level 2, ADHD, and then I was like, And then I was like, do you want to? I was like, may as well, I'm here. So I always knew it, but it's my superpower, and probably a lot of you in the room are the same. I talk fast, so if I'm too fast, sorry, not sorry, but it's how my brain works. Does everybody else's brain work fast, like the good doctor, and you can see a million things at once? Can I have some hands up for that? Like proper. I actually want to see, so you can all look around the room now and go, okay, I'm in a place where I am normal. Cool. So constant interruptions, for me, I have to close my door. I keep talking to my team. I have to have, you know, those really, those timers, the sand things, they actually turn those upside down so that I don't, when it's out, I have to go back to my office. So you've got to know, you've got to know what your weaknesses are when it comes to interruptions and how to fix that. Everyone else's priorities coming first. Days disappear without progress. Always responding but rarely leading. You know, this isn't a personal failure, it's actually a structural one. And this is actually how we lose time really fast, which actually is money. And I'm going to show you this in a minute, which will scare you. So reaction mode has one root cause, right? Your business or your job is reactive because the priorities aren't defined up front. Now, sure, write your to-do list, but do you have it in order? Do you write it before you go home? Some of you might, but it just needs to be religious. So when nothing clear is defined, everything feels urgent. So you're like, I've got to do that. Oh, now I've got to do that. Oh, that's due tomorrow. You know, it all becomes urgent if you haven't got that defined. Decisions are then made under pressure. Decision fatigue for high-functioning busy brains is like 4 hours a day. So anything, if you're constantly making decisions, there was a statistic one of my team gave me yesterday when I was showing her this, and she said, did you know, Kate, that the judges in the courts for speeding fines, that if you're in the morning, you actually have, there's like 70% chance that you will get off on the fine, but if you are in the afternoon, there's like 10% chance, because the judges have made so many decisions that day that they're making decisions like, oh yeah, and because they'll go the other side, which is cautious, people in the afternoons were actually not getting let off as much as the ones in the mornings. That is decision fatigue. So be really aware of how many decisions you're making each day and limit those, because you'll end up possibly making the wrong ones. Focus disappears and you just deal with what comes in front of you, including emails. Who reacts just by the emails coming through? Oh yeah, I'll get that one done. Yep. Honestly, I used to do it as well. I dare you to close your emails down for an hour. How would that make you feel? Pretty good. Okay. Is there anyone in the room that would be freaking out if they closed down their emails or their inbox for an hour? Be honest. Okay. Then you're all doing it tomorrow. for an hour. Okay? Because the amount of work that you can get done in that time, if it's focused, I'm not even kidding. If someone died, they'll ring you. It'll be okay. I'm actually really glad to see no one put their hand up there. It's really good. So where your best time is actually going. So most founders and leaders spend best hours, admin and follow-ups, inbox requests, fixing and redoing work, tasks that someone else could own. You know that thing called delegation? You know that thing called genius zone? You should all know your genius zone, and if you don't, you need to work that out. For me, if I had to do Canva, I'd rather poke needles in my eyes. Right? So I know if I'm sitting there looking at something and it's taking me too long, or I've got distracted, or I'm procrastinating, or it keeps going to the next day's to-do list, that is not my jam. And the sooner that you can move that, outsource it, give it to a team member, honestly, you'll save yourself so much money, it's ridiculous. This focus stuff actually comes down to making more profit as well, right? It's important work, but not high value work, this stuff. So let me say this, if your hourly rate was $200 an hour, right, and you spent 2 hours a day doing the wrong tasks, that would cost you over a year $100,000. Isn't that crazy? That's if your rate's $200 an hour doing the wrong stuff. That's not your genius zone, or not moving it, or doing these things up here reactively all the time. This stuff adds up to your bottom line.
Non-dollar productive activity.
Sorry, who's talking now? Oh.
Non-dollar productive activity.
Exactly, and I'm going to get to where we should be hanging out. You guys know this stuff, that's what I mean. It's not new. I'm bringing it into the awareness. I want to shock your system a bit tonight and bring this focus back, because this is where we need to be as founders and business owners. Being busy does not mean you're moving forward. Let that land. 12-hour days, I'm so busy. Oh, what are you doing? Busy work. Yeah, what's that busy work? Oh, I've got so many emails, got to put out a fire over here. You're not moving forward in a business. You're just busy doing the wrong stuff. So the shift you need to make to get proactive, right? So we need to stop trying to do more and start being intentional. So the growth doesn't come from longer days. Like I said, I'd be lucky to work 20 hours a week and my business grows. You know, it comes from putting time where you have the most impact. So before committing to tasks, even if you write these 3 things down, basic stuff, but get a pen and paper out, does this actually require my thinking? Or take a photo of it. Does it actually require your thinking? Could someone else actually own this or do it? Or is it even actually necessary at all? If you're getting back to clients because they're used to you getting back to them, start changing the goalpost. That doesn't mean you lose clients, it just means you have an expectation, a boundary, right? So I use Voxer for all my business clients, and I say to them, I'll get back to you within 1 business day, and that's the expectation. And if you Voxer me, then you need to let me know what the problem is, what you think is the solution, and then I'll get back to you. And if you don't do those 2 things, you won't get an answer from me. Right? That's just an example. I know it sounds cutthroat, right? But I am a nice person. But just as a coach, I'm an accountable coach. So, do you want to lead your team? Do you want to lead the business? Let's shift this over if we need to. So how do we do this? This is the focus quadrant. This is the key for the first topic, right? Where am I spending my time, reactive versus proactive? This here is called the focus quadrant. So you've got strategic up the top, you've got execution down the bottom, and the reactive on the side, and proactive over here. You've guessed where we need to be as a business owner, strategic and proactive, right? A lot of people are not hanging out there, and I'll explain where. So execution, delivery, doing work. It keeps things moving. So this isn't actually where you want to be. This is delivery, sure. That's doing the service part, and that should be 30% of your time, sure. If it's just you, then it needs to be more. But if you want a business to grow, execution is not where you hang out. Strategic. Direction, priorities, long-term decisions. That is where you need to be hanging out, right? We need to know what we're doing, where we're going, what the priorities are. Reactive, obviously explains itself, and proactive is you decide what matters before the day actually begins. Again, stuff you know, but are we doing it? So most actually live in the strategic reactive quadrant. So they're over here going, yeah, I'm planning, I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm actually reacting to everything that's coming through every day. So strategic and proactive is the place to be. So this is the work that moves the needle, but rarely screams the loudest. Does that make sense? It's not going to say, hey, hang out over here. You need to make a choice to live there. Choice, which is what I'm trying to bring home here. So protect time for, like you said over there, revenue generating work, strategy and leadership. If it's not scheduled, it's not going to happen. So reclaim your high value time. So where your role should be. What's this one? Oh, we've got the quadrant. Okay, so I've just skipped through this. Good old Kate, well done. So I've got a worksheet here and I'd be really happy to give you guys a couple of minutes. So basically this here is which quadrant are you spending the most time in today? So you've got some examples here. I want you to write down for me what is the one activity that moves your business or team forward the most, looking at that box. And then I want you to be honest with yourself. Time on your focus activity. So how many hours did you spend on this activity last week? And how many hours should you be spending on it next week? I'd be really keen to see if there's a big difference in those hours there. And then what pulled you away from your focus? So let's be real. This is looking at what's actually pulled me away from that focus we're doing. And how many did you tick? And then your one focus commitment. So it's just a bit of reflective work, but I'm really keen. I want to give you guys a couple of minutes. Feel free, I can walk around the room if you have questions. But this is just about actually looking at it in writing and saying, where am I hanging out? I want to bring it from subconscious to conscious. That's what this is all about. So I'll just give you a couple of minutes. No. How many are we down? Well, guys, I will email you all personally. Is the worksheet going out with the slide thing at the end?
Yes, so you can download the middle one here. Yeah, you download the same as that.
I'd even challenge you to give it to maybe if you've got a manager in your team, people like that, to kind of get them on the page of what they're focusing on. Sorry, guys, didn't print out enough. Oh, okay, that's fine. Love it. Remember, we want that strategic and proactive corner. So I would love it if people in the room had ticks all in that box. That would mean you're going in the right direction and spending time on the right things. Where are you hanging out, Philippa?
I'm hanging out a lot in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I reckon I spent
I think you have been hanging out there a bit. Yep. What about you guys? Which quadrant do you reckon you're in?
All over the place at the moment.
All over the place? Well, this will be good. It's just bringing it back in, right? It's a simple thing. Bring the focus in.
choosing from all these four.
Yep. So which quadrant are you spending the most time in today? So if you looked at these, where do you think, circle one quadrant and say, do you know what, looking at those things under it, that's where I'm hanging out. Yep. What about over here? Strategic and reactive? Yeah, is this where you are?
No, that's not me. That was
Oh,
someone else.
oh
I
okay.
got a second-hand one.
Oh, second-hand one. Sorry, guys. Any questions around that? What about you? Oh, you don't have one.
Who knows what's wrong?
I'm such an event organiser. Not. It's not one of my genius zones. I'm very okay to hand that over. That's why we love Fabe and Luke. So they're amazing. Even though he did warn me to print out that many. Did I do that? No. All right, so where did I put that little... I call this a doot-doot. Does anyone else call this a doot-doot? No, I'm the only weirdo. That's okay. All right, we'll keep moving. So reclaim your high-value time. So your role should work on tasks that do this. Drive revenue, sets direction, requires your judgment only, and moves the business forward. Because if the business or job doesn't get this time, your growth is going to stall. Full stop. Full stop. You'll stay in busy work and you'll wonder why your revenue's not growing. You'll wonder why you have the same problems. I work with all my clients on this. Move low value work away from you. Okay, so is there anyone in the room that's just them? Okay, all right. Okay, we've got a lot of solopreneurs in the room. So, I was there once, and when I'm just doing a little quick. How long have I got to go anyway? I'm going off script.
15 minutes.
Alrighty, that's okay because this is the main chunk. So, as a solopreneur, it's really important that you write down the list like this. What do you love to do? What do you don't mind doing? And what would you rather poke needles in your eyes about? Write that down, and this poke needles in the eyes column is your first hire. It's not just creating a PD of, oh, it should be admin, it should be this. No, it is your needles column. Now, you need to recruit ahead of the game. If you are getting busy now and you have got consistency of about 4 to 6 weeks, consistent dollars, consistent leads, then you start hiring and you start casual. You move to part-time, go to Upwork, go to Fiverr, look in your community groups. You don't need to go to Seek. You don't need to get someone full-time. You don't need any of that risk. That is how you hire and what to hire. Is that helpful for people? Yeah, that needles list. Don't go and create a PD for the sake of an admin PD. You know, it's really important your first hire. You can tell I'm super passionate about that, and I help a lot of solopreneurs because at the end of the day, you can't delegate because you haven't got the funds, right? You can't outsource it because you haven't got the funds. You could systemize it, and there's things like MailChimp, and I help a lot of solopreneurs get stuff free and marketing free to get out there. But you need to get really clear on your genius zone. That's my little off tangent piece there for solopreneurs. So the second piece, protecting your focus. So learn how distractions, noise, and constant demands quietly steal your time. So if I'm watering plants in the office, the girls know that whatever work I'm supposed to do, it shouldn't be. Like literally, they go, Kate, what are you avoiding? Like they know me that well. And I'm like, I've got to write this like report, and it's like 1 million words. Yeah, no. So it's really important to know your distractions. I know them so well that if I start doing it, I go, okay, what is that? Why is it taking me so long? Why am I? You've got to be that self-aware, right? So the hidden costs of context switching, why focus keeps getting broken. Every time you move between an email, then on Teams, oh, ding, client issue comes through, admin, oh, then I'm going to go post on socials. Did you know every time you're doing this, it's costing you so much money? Block it. Block it, please. If you don't take anything from tonight, take this. Block your time and how you're doing it and how many, and then move to the next thing, because it's costing you like 15 minutes. Did you know Ros White, one of my best friends, who knows Rosie White in the room? Yeah, so she's one of my best friends and a mentor and wine associate. And she told me, who has a team of like 650 now, I think it is, every time you're interrupted, it takes you 15 minutes to get back on track. 15 minutes. Now, 15 minutes hourly rate times 5 interruptions a day. Are you now seeing the power of focus to your bottom line? Like, this shit's serious. Excuse for the language. I'm a straight shooter. Sorry if I offended you. It's serious. So if you want to run a business, get your time right. Know that, okay, emails are getting closed down. I'm doing a social block. The phone's on silent. Bang. Bang out 10 socials, schedule them, done. Great, next, open the emails, get some reactive stuff done, close it down again, 20 minutes. Okay, great, I'm going to go and get this admin thing done. You have to do it like that. If you keep context switching, it'll cost you a lot of money. Your brain starts again every time you're moving. Busy people don't run out of time, they run out of attention. We're only human. This is what I mean by utilising this busy brain. So why focus is so hard? Because as I said, the average person is interrupted dozens of times a day, and every time it costs you money. The issue isn't actually capability at all for any of you. You're really sharp, smart people, you know, but the issue is that constant switching. So this is the next learning piece in the second one. So this is what is stealing your attention, right? So if you look at this over here, we've got distractions down the bottom, we've got noise, delivery, and focus. So we need to be in that focus spot as much as possible. But if I say to you now, my scheduled week is Mondays admin, Tuesdays I'm back-to-back coaching, I'm good in the mornings, I never coach after 1 p.m, Thursdays is coaching. Like, I know when my brain's on. I know what time of morning I'm on. I know when I'm reactive. You've got to know when your brain works best for you and block that and schedule it. So every Monday I go, right, what's my week looking like? I'm blocking admin there, socials there. Oh, I don't do my socials, but I'm going to pretend I do. Socials and, sales, coaching, team meetings, reactive time. Like, block the reactive time. So, distractions. These are the things that steal your attention. Watering plants, scrolling. Please turn off all your phone notifications. As a business owner, if you have your phone notifications on, if I was coaching you, you've got to turn them off. I don't have Facebook notification. I have message and I have phone calls. That's it. Like, I want you to think about what yours are, and I'm going to give you, hopefully I've got, 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
10.
Oh, cool. So after this, you're like, oh man, Kate, wrap this up. Nah. So I'm going to get you to all to write these down because I want you to be accountable. I'm pretty big on holding people accountable. So I want you now, all of you, to write down on that piece of paper, if you manage to score one. Sorry. I want you 3 distractions for you. What you personally are you distracted by? Talking, checking emails, phone notifications? Are you scrolling Facebook? Do you get down a rabbit warren of reels? I hate reels, honestly. If I see my husband on them, I still go, what are you brain wasting your time? Your brain is going to fry. Yeah. Anyway, go for a walk. What are your distractions? And be real with yourself. I'll give you 30 seconds. I'm seeing a lot of laughing going on. The smiles are unreal. This is so funny. It's good awareness. It's great. What's yours, Blake?
Social media. So again, hearing the team talk.
Yeah.
Got to catch.
We like jamming.
Yeah. What are they talking about?
Yeah.
On top of that. And then, like you said, rabbit holes. So that strategic thing, you go, oh, what about? And then all of a sudden, I'm looking at the economy of Latvia.
And then a new idea, the entrepreneur brain goes, I could go and create that. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, hang on, an hour ago I was working on that. I get it. And that's where it's, now that you've said that out loud, you can actually go, oh my God, I'm doing that again. Do you know what I mean? Like, tomorrow you'll go in and just be that little bit more on it. And that's what tonight's about. Thanks for sharing, Blake. All right, so I can see everyone's having a bit of a laugh. I'm going to ask, can I have 3 hands in the room to tell me their distractions? Go.
I help my son with his business.
You help your son with his business.
He's got a social media business. He's 19, so I just do the phone calls for him because he's not up to that stage. So
Is that a distraction or is that the people-pleasing helping?
I'd say people pleasing.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just calling you out on that. I told you I'm an accountable coach. Give me another distraction that's you personally that you know maybe you're not great at.
Social media,
Rabbit hole?
scrolling, yeah.
Oh, that's so bad for your brain.
Addictive, 100%. He tells me that all the time as well, even though it's social media.
It is so bad. Who else? We'll go over here.
Family message.
Sorry?
Family messages.
Messages from family, did you say?
Yeah, they keep changing.
Okay, so next family meeting, we're going to sit at the table. We're going to say, so that I can get my best work done, so I can provide for you guys, these are my windows. If something's urgent though, ring me twice and I'll know I'll pick up the second time.
The problem they are using.
I've had that convo before.
The problem they are using WhatsApp, and WhatsApp I use WhatsApp for business as well, so for the client.
So can you just ignore it?
Not really.
Then let's get disciplined. Let them know and then get disciplined because that's actually what it's about. What about you?
Ideas.
Entrepreneur.
Every minute and research them and can't stop.
Okay, so the brain dump app that I've just created, you literally email it to yourself, it's in your inbox, you can forget about it. So a lot of people with these busy brains, it happens like rapid fire and you don't want to forget it and then you forget it and then you try to remember what you forgot. Is there anyone else like that? Yep. So email it to yourself, text yourself, have a book called Ideas and Stuff, write it, close it, stay focused. Yep. One more. Here we are.
Dog. The dog.
Do you work from home?
Yes.
yeah, the dog comes into the room, or it needs to go out, or it wants attention, or...
Okay, so what if you stop giving the dog attention? If we do step one of, you can stay in the room, but if you keep going, I'm going to ignore you like a child and just go, I love you, but stay there.
I'm trying that.
Sorry? Okay, we're going to change that word. What are we going to do?
I'm doing that.
Yes, there it is. We're not trying. We're not trying, we're doing. That's the difference here. Thanks for sharing, everyone. The next one is noise, right? So these things down here, these things compete for your attention. So replying to emails straight away, client issues that aren't critical, they're fixing things that aren't broken. So you go, oh, hang on, I've got to do that. But I think it's just noise. Like, do you really right now? Or do you do it because you should, like, I've got to give a really quick example. I have a client that runs a dog kennel and dog wash place. She takes a photo of every dog, and they have 135 dogs every day. And she posted on social media. I said, are you kidding me? That's a full-time job. That's like a salary of like 60K a year you're throwing away for that. Yeah, but Kate, my clients will be so upset if their dog's not on there. And I said, okay. So you have the conversation and you put 5 up, and if they whinge about it, then you say, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to run a business. And if they, oh, but what if they leave? Then they leave. Then that's a no client. I'm so sorry. And that sounds harsh, I'm just delivering this quickly, but that's what you've got to think about. Delivery, things that require your attention. So servicing clients, payment processing, actual emergencies and tech issue. So yeah, we need to be hanging out here. You will hang out in all of them, but get rid of these. Nah, yeah, try to get to. Split your day. Focus, the things that deserve your attention. On business, creating offers, lead gen, knowing your numbers. Who here knows your break-even number? Hand up high if you know your break-even number every week, what it costs you to stay open. Okay, you should know that. Knowing your numbers, budgeting, forecasting, hiring, automation, strategy, team. That's where the focus piece is. Where am I going? What do I want? Do you know if you want to sell it? Do you know if you want to keep running it? Does everyone know their exit plan, like what the point of what they're doing is? I hope so. Good stuff. Creating simple focus rules. So what interrupts your day? Know your distractions, you've written them down. Anyone heard of the 2-minute rule? Cool. So smash everything on that page in the morning. Anything that takes under 2 minutes, get it done before anything else. You will feel so good inside. You will feel like you've accomplished so much already. But it's done, bang, off you go. 2-minute rule, really helpful. What gets worked on after this, those revenue generating tasks, especially a solopreneur, it should be 50% of your time. If you're not spending 50% of your time on lead generation, you're not going to grow. As a solopreneur, that is. Even kind of as you go higher and higher, it's still the same, but it's real. What gets delayed or delegated, and the rules reduce that decision fatigue. Remember, if we've got this going on, we've made less decisions about what we're kind of switching about. Nearly at the end, so protecting your focus time could be really simple. Revenue work, strategic thinking, BD, team leadership, reduce the notifications, checking, unplanned and low value admin. Pretty simple stuff, but I reckon we need to do, not try, we're going to do. Yeah, love it. Amazing. So growth happens in focus, guys. It really does. Priorities are defined up front. There's less firefighting. Oh my gosh, as a business owner, how many fires do you put out daily? Yeah, it's like, oh, now I've got to do this, now I've got to do this. It's like, okay, you got to get back in the driver's seat of your business. Do not let it drive you. Focus rules, decision filters, outcome-led. And the final thoughts on focus is we stop spinning and context switching. You know, I'm harping on that, but it's really important. Focus deeply on the right things, make progress on the real stuff, and feel in control. Focus isn't discipline only, it's design. It's choice. And energy and intention creates that real progress. So, the focus quadrant tells you what matters, and the focus funnel, why you're not getting to it. And that's the focus formula that brings those two together. That's pretty much me in a nutshell. Here's my info. If you do want a free 20-minute chat, business strategy chat, it's up there, QR code. Otherwise, you can go to the website. I'm just trying to think if people don't like a QR code, because that's like a new thing I've heard now. Right. If you go to the website, just katelangford.com.au, this will come up. We do career coaching and business coaching. You click on those, it will take you through to a free 20-minute call. The business ones are with me personally. The career ones are with my awesome team. So the career side, we help people with resumes, changing jobs, careers, interview coaching, all that stuff. And the business side, I help business owners I can find their blind spots very fast. And I work with startups, but you have to have the concept and be all in. Solopreneurs right up to 2 mil turnover. That's my sweet spot, and I'm very comfortable with that. There's some of my stuff there, book in a free 20-minute chat. And then I also do, obviously, the Busy Brain Operating System. That wasn't today. But yeah, there's a QR code there if you want me to speak to your team or organisation and doing any of that keynote stuff. But I might just leave it on the other one there. Any questions for me, lovely people? You can tell I like to talk. Sorry if it was too fast, but I was getting warnings up the Mac. Nah, good timing, I think. Any questions?
What's the details on the app?
They're all quiet. The app. Okay, so if you want to download it, you go into the App Store. It's red, and it's called Brain Dump AI, capital AI, by Kate Langford. It's red. It's not really done, like it is done by AI, but we called it that at the end because there were so many other brain dump apps. But basically what it does is you set it up and it's an automatic send off to either you choose your email or your phone number. You literally just open it and you talk into it and go, oh, blah, 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 and it will just put it in a beautiful dot point form and generate it, and it will send it straight to your email or text, formatted the way you need it based on what you're saying and how you're saying it, with the right header. You can also share it into your teams. You can share it can go to all different apps, so it's not just email or text yourself. But it's just, I couldn't find anything that was fast enough for my brain. You've got Siri, you've got all those things, and AI to a point, but I needed something to tap, hear me, make it look good and dot pointed, and get it out and back into my world so I could keep moving. So, yeah, if you want to have a look at that. No questions? Yep.
When you've got a lot of overwhelm happening and all these tasks piling up, some days, like when I take action, that's when I feel great. What would you say something for you is an easy trigger or something that you can just snap out of sitting in that quagmire?
To get the doing done.
Yeah.
So the question is, when you're feeling overwhelmed and you're in that reactive state, what's the trigger point to go into that?
Or what works for you?
So I have things on my wall. So I have, so my why in business is my family and being able to buy blackberries through a checkout whenever I want. Right? So like it's that simple. So if I have a picture of my kids and all of their stuff, 6-year-old or whatever, I have that on my thing, and every time I look at that, I go, come on, Kate, you've got a bigger picture to do. So if you've got a why, and everyone should know their real deep desire and why in what they're doing, and if that's in front of your face, that will pull you out really fast. Or remember who you're serving, and if you're passionate about your business, which you all should be, it's remembering this is bigger than me. I've got to get back into my stuff because people need my help. Yeah? Or Kate Langford in your pocket. Yes, any other questions? I think that's it, Luke. I've scared them. They're all quiet.
Awesome. Let's give Kate a round of applause.